Here's the second passage of the mock. It was all about Isaac Asimov, this one great science fiction writer and futurist who is also one of my favorite writers, somebody who has inspired me a lot. But then, more than that, you might also know him as the author to the Foundation series. You might have seen those books in and around stores. Amazing science fiction stories. And then, more than that, you must have heard of this one work of his, which was also made into a movie starring Will Smith. Um, The movie was I, Robot, right? So anyway, this passage talked about how Asimov, who was basically Jewish by origin, was not just known for the way that he redefined science fiction, but he wanted that the work that he did with science fiction should reflect in actual science. So, as a teacher of science, what he wanted to do was he wanted to use science fiction to warn people about what the future will bring if we continue doing whatever we are doing with our technology. And he also wanted to provide his young readers and his students with the background information and the vision of the future, right? That's what he wanted to give them. And so he was this amazing educator. That's what the passage talks about. And he had this, the passage says that Isaac Asimov had this one amazing quality, which was that he was able to put his concepts into easy words, which is what a good teacher always does, right? So let's get on with the questions for this passage. The first one says, according to Asimov, which of the following should the society be concerned about as it develops technologically, right? Now, taking you back to that part in the passage where it talks about Asimov and what he talked about regarding technology, right here, Asimov analyzed subsequent human history in terms of technological advancement, right? Okay, that's exactly what it says here. Now, the fact is that Asimov went on to say that there are certain things which have been pulling us back, even though we have advanced technologically. See, it says here, right here I can mark for you. He claimed that at every stage of the resulting increase in intellectual and organizational complexity, humanity was faced with only three choices: abandon, endure, advance. So he says, he talks about the complexities that have that are there have taken place, and then he says that according to him, the only way out has been when people, specifically scientists, he says, have moved on, right? They have chosen to advance. That is what he says. Asimov claimed, I'm marking it right here for you, that successful societies at every juncture of history have been the ones that chose to advance. So using science, people have chosen to advance, and that is what has made them into a successful society. But then he says that, and this brings us to a part where we are where we get the answer to our question. It says, according to him, this move has always involved attempts to solve by more appropriate social organization and the invention of even better technology the problems of adaptation, including those problems created by previous advances in technology. So what he's trying to say is that we need to use technology to do away with the problems of adaptation, right? So that once a society moves on from one phase to another, we might be able to do away with those organizational or intellectual complexities which are present, right? And that is what he says, and this includes those problems which have been created by previous advances in technology. So this brings us back to our question here, which says, what, according to Asimov, is the fact that society should be concerned with which of these, right, when it develops technologically? Right here is the answer in option C: create better technology to acclimatize to the complexities of the day, right? Now, what does this word here mean and how does it connect? We just read that there is a need to move on to a different era, and successful societies do that. They acclimatize, they adapt to the complexities of the day only by creating better technology, right? So this is what our answer is. Let's anyway read the other two options. A says hone themselves to make the most of the technological advancements available. No, there was no talk about honing themselves, rather making technological advancements. And then B says, so we can eliminate A. B says use technological advancements for expanding opportunities and to develop a vision for future possibilities. No, this is also not what he meant. So it cannot be A and C. It cannot be A. It cannot be B. The answer for this question has to be C. Now this question reads, in the context of tradition, according to the passage, Asimov's attitude can be said to be which of these? Now you had been given 4 options here, and then 4 sentences, 4 statements, and then 4 other options as well. So you have to choose from there. Let's read these. A says, scientific as he annotated works on the Bible and other literary classics. Is this true? Yes, in the passage here, it says that right here, see, it says it right here. I can mark this part for you. It says he published over 400 titles including non-fiction works and a lot of other blah blah blah, and then he annotated works on the Bible and other literary classics. That's exactly what we were looking for. Yes, so we can say that that particular statement is correct. Yes, his attitude was scientific. Was it well researched, as he traced the development of Judaism and Christianity by analyzing biblical accounts of human origins? It says that in the next line itself, where we marked, see, it says here he traced the development of Judaism and Christianity by analyzing biblical accounts of human origins and prehistory, right? And then it says, the next line says didactic, or did he teach people as he aimed to preach the present generation the values he stood for? Very much yes. In his work as a writer, as a non-fiction writer, a science fiction writer, he wanted his people, or he wanted his readers, as it says here. I should mark that part for you. It says he believed in good science fiction, that good science fiction has 2 important functions: to warn us about what the future will bring. See, this is where I'm reading, right? And to provide young readers with the background of information and the vision of future possibilities necessary for intelligent, doubting and scientific creativity. Excuse my random lines, but then this is where exactly we get to know that even the third sentence has to be true. So we can mark all of these correct, A, B and C. We cannot call Isaac Asimov judgmental, right? And that is because even though he was critical of according supremacy to one culture over others, it's mentioned there in the passage that even though he thought that placing one culture above the other is not a good thing to do, we cannot say that he was a judgmental person, right? And that is why he cannot be described as judgmental, and we go with answer option D as the actual correct answer for this particular question. Alright, let's read this question here. It says, according to Asimov, which of the following options about technological advancements is or are correct, right? Now, A says the technological advancements that take place with evolution eventually become imperative. So we are dealing with the first statement out of the 4 which have been given to us. Let's go back to the passage. It does not talk about evolution in that particular context. It says the concept of world government has been rendered imperative. See, it says the very technological innovations that have rendered it imperative, right? It has been made possible for the first time in history by the very technological innovations that have rendered it imperative. So we are not talking of evolution here. It has not, this sentence has not been mentioned in the passage. It says the need for technological advancements can be traced back to the exponential growth of population. No, it does say to the growth of population, but then not the word exponential can help us eliminate that option. See, it says here he analyzed subsequent human history in terms of technological advance generated by the demands of recurring warfare, sparked in turn by population expansion. But exponential expansion, we haven't talked of that, and that is why we cannot take that to be the answer, right? Let's read C. Natural selection expedites and ensures innovative technological advancements. Yes, this is very much true according to the passage right here. See, it says, as Asimov explained, from then on, natural selection would have ensured that humans developed the intelligence to become master tool designers, and this in turn led inevitably to a new and faster kind of change, a faster evolution. the evolution of culture. So yes, it is very much true that natural selection expedites and ensures innovative technological advancements, right? The whole paragraph previous to that line, where we just marked it right now, talks about how natural selection does that, right? And what about D then? Technological advancements can prove to be as much a boon as a bane as a boon. Yes, also has been mentioned in the last passage right here. It says the advent of instantaneous worldwide communication systems and the prospect of open access, right? So it talks about instantaneous communication systems and the prospect of open access to the products of global surveillance, along with the technical capability to annihilate all life on Earth. This is what he says is the boon, right? I mean the bane, right? So a lot of things have been mentioned by Isaac Asimov. He has glorified science, but then he also mentions that it has its own weaknesses. So again, D also becomes correct, and we have already eliminated A and B. We go ahead with C and D, making option C here the answer to this question. That's the answer to our question.